welcome to the Northern Counties East League podcast. I'm Richard Watts. I'm now joined by League General Manager Matt Jones.
Firstly, hello everybody. Thank you for listening to the podcast. It's been a great weekend for Northern Counties East League teams in the FA Cup again. That's the second time we've said that just recently. With 7 teams definitely through and 1 still with a replay. Well, 7 teams equals the league's best run since 2018 in this competition. They say there's a possibility yet with Eccleshill still to play Mossley in a replay that it might be 8 teams through into the first qualifying round. If Eccleshill do win, it will be the best season in the FA Cup we've had since 2007. So well done to all the teams that went through. In the Premier Division, there are only 2 games due to the fact that the FA Cup games were being played as well. Penistone Church took advantage of the inactivity of some of the others, beating Parkgate 2-1 away. Penistone have now gone top of the league, and that's 4 wins in a row after losing their first game, so well done to them. In Division 1, there was a high-scoring game at Glasshout and Welfare. Certainly, spectators got value for money there, with visitors Wombwell Town winning 5-3. Really entertaining game. Horbury 1-0 winners against Swallownest, joined Wombwell at the top of the table. Both maintain their 100% records. That's 5 wins from 5 games, maximum 15 points so far. So is it going to be a 2-horse race between them two? Time will tell. Long way to go yet. And a mention for Nostell Miners Welfare. They've lost all 4 league games prior to this weekend, moved off the bottom of the table with a win against Yorkshire Amateur, and it was a win that they did in style. If you're going to get your first win of the season, you may as well do it by 7-0. So well done, congratulations to everybody at Nostell. I'd like to say good luck to all the teams involved in the FA Vars this weekend. We've got 25 teams taking part in this round, and again that means a reduced league programme on Saturday with just 3 games in the Premier Division and 2 going ahead in Division 1.
And we had a game abandoned late on the other week. What's the position with that game at the moment?
We did. That was the game between Clubthorne Colliery and Worsbridge Bridge Athletic. It was actually abandoned in the 95th minute, and it was abandoned. There was an allegation made by one of the sides that a racist comment had been made. The game was abandoned. There are protocols in place to deal with this kind of thing. So at the moment, it's under investigation by the FA. They will take statements from both sides, ask everybody that was involved their observations of what happened, and the FA will firstly decide whether any charges need to be brought or anything like that. If the case is found proven, then they could either charge Thorn Colliery as a club, they could charge the player, or more likely in these cases, they charge both. If the player is found guilty of making this comment, this alleged comment, he will face a ban of between 6 and 12 games. Again, that would come down to an FA panel to decide how lengthy the ban would be. The league can only take action once the FA have concluded their investigations, and these things, there are timescales for those kind of things, and it takes a little while to get sorted out. But I think the most important thing is that they get the right conclusion, and if it was a racist comment that was made, that the punishment is sufficient. The league would then have to decide the status of the game. So with it being in the 95th minute, does the result stand, or would the game be replayed? And that will depend very much on what the FA investigation finds out first. And what we will say is, of course, it's important that everything's done properly, because there's no place in football as a whole, or even in the whole of society, for any kind of abuse of any kind. It can't be tolerated. The FA have got a campaign at the moment going on called Love Football, Protect the Game, which is featured on our website, and the league very much backs that campaign.
Well, it's good evening to Adam, and it's a good evening, and a good evening to Si, and myself. Aaron's here tonight to go through the what's happened over the week in the NCEL. So, I think, gents, if we start with a quick look at the FA Cup, because a lot of the NCEL clubs have done really well. I think it started with Thackley beating Golker, didn't it? At Golker, what a crowd! 547 there. What a great crowd that was, wasn't it, gents?
Yeah,
football again.
Yeah, seems to get good numbers, Golker, for the big games as well. So Yeah, it's looks good. Looks good turnout.
It does. Unfortunately, they lost, but again, Friday night football. There's something in it. There's something in that, definitely.
100%.
So I know Golka they really do get behind the team, and I think they're the envy of quite a few teams. I must admit, with the crowds they're getting. So well done to the good people of Golka. Tadcaster, what a good away win at Borough Rangers up at Middlesbrough, and what a fantastic tie they've got, eh? Macclesfield, what a great tie! That is a good tie, isn't it? I forgot to tell you that Thackley have got an away tie at Warrington Rylands, so that'll be a real tough one for Thackley. But I think they can give a good account of themselves there. So Tadcaster,
good few draws. Tadcaster. I think they had Chester last year, didn't they?
I think they did. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's good for Caddy Macclesfield. Bottisford, they continue the super form. They beat Barton Town in the week. A couple of weeks ago, 3-1, and they were worthy winners. They beat Winterton 3-0, so another local derby and another local team put to the sword. So, as I say, I saw Bottisford a good few times last season, and they were very unlucky. A little bit of naivety sometimes, they'd maybe lose 2-1 or 1-0 or lose a goal late on. But they've got a tie against Loughborough Students, so that's a good tie again for Bottisford. And I know Bob's not with us tonight, but goals, well, they lost by the odd goal against Melton Town, didn't they? 3-2. So they put a good fight up their goal, but unfortunately the cup run comes to an end. Eccleshill drew away at Mossley. They did their hard work, come back to the Mitten Stadium and lost, didn't they? Is it 3-0 or 3-1? So unfortunately, 3-1, yeah. So Eccleshill are out. Barton Town. They go all the way down to Wellingborough to play the Northampton Chinecks, and it certainly was a game of two halves. Chinecks up 2-1 at half time, and Barton really did play well in the second half, getting a couple of goals. And they could have had a few more, and that's not me with my Barton Town Swans glasses on. There was about 3 one-on-ones which we managed to fluff up a bit. So it could have been a lot easier for Barton in the second half. I think Chinecks run out of steam a bit, but really good result for Barton. And I think it's the furthest we've been for 15 years. So that's good for Barton. And home tie to Rugby Town. So that's a good home tie. Another team in Sky Blue. So we seem to be playing a lot of teams with Sky Blue at the moment. Silsden beat Atherton Collieries 2-0. They've got another tough one. They're away to West Didsbury and Chalton. So that'll be a tough one, won't it?
That's a tough game.
Yeah. They're always a decent team, West Didsbury and Chalton, aren't they? Hallam beat Charnock Richard. They're a very, very tough team, Charnock Richard, to beat. 703 good souls went down on Sunday to do their praying at Hallam. And Hallam have got an away tie to Newcastle Blue Star. Yeah,
that'll be a tough one. They've just beat North Ferriby at last round as well. So,
well, I went to that one on Tuesday night, Adam, and Ferriby were cruising 2-0, and then what a great second half by Newcastle Blue Star. Brought it back to 2-2, and then in the extra time they got another couple of goals to ease past them at 4-2. So. They are a good team. They're a young team with 1 or 2 old heads in, but they're very, very, really good. But I think Hallam will give them a good game. I definitely think Hallam will give them a good game. Yeah, definitely. Campion, they beat Affordable Football Club Liverpool, AFC Liverpool, 1-0. And they've got another nice home tie, haven't they, to Blythe Spartans. Yeah. So let's hope Campion get a good crowd there. So that's covered the FA Cup. Let's have a look, because I'm going to go on to the matches later, but I want to have a look at this Saturday. We picked a few ties out of the FA Vars. Wakefield playing 1874 Northwich.
Indeed.
Yeah, so that should be. Is that going to be at Featherstone, Si?
It isn't. It's the last game at the Wakefield Trinity Ground. We're signing that one off now. That's it. Yeah. We're done there. I think that with the changing grounds, I think there was already something booked at Featherstone, so they couldn't do that. So we've still got that one at Wakefield, and then that's it now. Then after that, we're at Featherstone.
Very good, very good. And I know
Apparently, 1874 Northwich are bringing over 3 coach loads as well, so it should be a well-attended game. Should that, which is really good.
Yeah, that's good because I think they're a reasonably supported team. And 1870 Northwich, I've seen them once when they played North Ferriby a long time ago, and I think they were a decent team. Then they beat Ferriby, but that's when Ferriby was going through a bit of a sticky patch. I've not gone through all the ties. I've just picked some good ties out. Brigg versus Winton, another Lincolnshire derby for Winton. That could be a potential banana skin for Winton and Brigg, I think. Possibly. There'll be a good crowd there. The good people of Brigg get behind the team, and they're very noisy. It's always a good atmosphere at Brigg, isn't it? Durnan District against Darwen. So that's into the unknown. The Durnan District have started quite well, haven't they, in the Division 1? So Barton Town, Barton Town always seem to play teams from Stockport. We played Stockport Georgians last year and lost 1-0. Got a very tough tie against Stockport Town. So that'll be interesting to see how far Barton's come this season. So the very tough tie there. The only thing is we're at home. Horbury against Ashton Town. That'll be a good one. And Pickering playing Newcastle Benfield. That'll be a good one, won't it? Is there any more you guys have picked out?
For me,
go on, Adam. Sorry.
I'm going to say with my team, Roslington Main, they've got Retford FC, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit worried about that one. I think it's a tough game because Retford have, like I said, we pumped a lot of money into the club. So we've got a new, spent a lot on a new hospitality suite. We've brought some good players in as well. So I think that's going to be a tough game.
Retford FC versus Rossington. Is a Rossington at home or Retford at home?
Rosso's at home.
Rosso's at home. So that'll be a good one. Any of you picked outside that you like the look of?
That's actually the one that I was going to highlight, but I'll switch to another one because Athersley are playing Retford United. So it's the other Retford team. Obviously, that was an NCEL team last season, and Athersley are going quite well, obviously, in the league this season. They've picked up quite a bit, so that could be quite an interesting tie to see how both teams have done over the summer and started the season.
Yeah, I were at that game last year, and Athersley beat Retford. It will kind of flip the table a bit because Athersley we're down at the bottom. They beat Retford, who were I think they won about 7 in a row at times. So be an interesting one. I think Retford will be after revenge. So be a good tie that.
Definitely. So that's the few we've picked out there. I noticed the League Cup draw has just been done at as we give it a JPC Construction League Cup for the NCEL teams. There's some real good ties there, isn't there? I mean, Thackley Ilkley, that's a good tie. Horbury Tadcaster, what about that one? That'll be good. And then Adam, Brigg versus Rossington.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get to that if it falls on a good day. I do like going to Brigg as well, so hopefully I'm free that night. Yeah,
it's usually Wednesday night games, aren't they, Brigg? They play on Wednesday, I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I might try and get that one. I might stand you a pint, Adam.
Oh, perfect. See you then.
If I'm there, yeah. Durnan District, they play Barton Town. Oh, so it's a ground I've not been to. Hopefully, Durnan District play on a Tuesday. That'll be best. So that'll be a good game. Now, Durnan District have just got a new manager, haven't they?
Our old assistant.
Yeah, old Zeph Thomas.
Yeah.
He's got lots and lots of experience, hasn't he? Rossington, Campion, Parkgate, Selby. He knows the score, doesn't he, Zeph? So we'll wish him good luck. Hopefully not too much good luck when we play Barton, but good luck, Zeph. Who else we got? Knaresborough and Eccleshill. Oh, that's a tough one. Nobody likes to go to Knaresborough on a Tuesday night. It's a hard place to go. Campion, Penistone. What about that one then, gents? That's that. Yeah, good one. Wakefield, you play Wasborough.
Yeah, but you got to be happy with that, as in it's not like a big scalp at this stage in terms of being a Prem side. I think where we've started the season, we need to kind of get a bit of confidence. So, I'm not saying the thing is, Wisborough are going to be. That's not a pushover match. I'm not saying that by any means, but I think certainly having a Division 1 team to start off with rather than
Premier.
a Prem is probably better for us. It's first time we've actually been in the second round. First 2 seasons in this league, we went out in the first round, so we're in the second round for the first time. So we're just happy with that at the moment.
Yeah, small steps, isn't it? That's all it is. I'll tell you an interesting tie next. Yorkshire Amateurs and Albion Sport. Interesting because Albion's management were once management at Yorkshire Amateurs when they were going well a few seasons ago. So that'll be interesting. I think Albion will have enough to get past Yorkshire Amateurs. But again, you just don't know, do you?
Both have had rough starts to the season, haven't they?
They have. And unfortunately, I should be shocked because I tipped Albion to do well. But it's early days, isn't it? It's early days.
It is, isn't it? 4 games in, isn't it? So yeah. But I think most people did as well. Albion was like at least in the playoffs for most people's consideration.
Definitely. Silsden played goal. I feel for goal going all the way to Silsden. That's a long journey. But it's an 8 o'clock kickoff, and you think 15 minutes between friends, it isn't much, is it? So it'll be a difficult one for goal, but I'm sure they'll give a good account of themselves. Hallam and Frickley, what a good tie that is, because Frickley are doing well. They're doing real well, aren't they, Adam? Hallam have set off like a house on fire, so that'll be a good tie. Somebody's got to give there, hasn't it? Pickering versus Harrogate Railway. Potentially, it depends what Harrogate Railway turn up, doesn't it, sometimes? They can be very good or very, very poor, really. So, Harrogate Railway versus Pickering. Armthorpe and Handsworth. Ooh, good one. Armthorpe on the day can give anybody a game. Handsworth have started really well this season. South Leeds, Bottisford. Tough little trip for Bottisford over at South Leeds there. We'll see how, because they've just started to pick up a little bit, South Leeds, haven't they? Just started finding their feet a little bit in that league. Winterton and Selby. I think Winterton might be a little bit too much for Selby, but again, you just don't know. And the final one, that is a good tie. Last year's winners, Parkgate, played Golka at the Sky Direct Stadium.
I think Louth and Beverley there as well.
There is Louth and Beverley, and I've not put it down. I don't know why I've not put it down. Yeah, Louth and Beverley. That's, again, it's a tough place to go to, Louth. It's off the beaten track as well, so it takes you time to get there. Have you been, Si?
I have, yeah. We went last year, and it was a horrid rainy day where the rain was coming in sideways, and the trip home was, it was not good weather at all. It was a hellish drive, but because it's not even in Louth, is it? It's actually in Saltburn.
It's Saltburn,
isn't it?
Saltfleetby, I think.
That's it. Oh, sorry, that's it. I knew it was Salt something. Sorry, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Salt something, Saltfleetby. You've been, Adam. Have you been to Louth?
Luckily, we were away in Cleethorpes for the night, so it weren't too bad of a journey there.
Oh, right.
Half an hour because, I didn't fancy that on a Tuesday night. And,
it's a long way to go, but they're building it up bit by bit. So that's a tough trip for Beverley, because Beverley haven't quite started as well as I thought they would. But again, Beverley, they've got to find the feet, haven't they? That's the thing. So that's the League Cup draw sorted out. I'll tell you what I want to do, and I did ask you guys earlier on. I just wanted to concentrate on Division 1, really, and look how well Woolwell and Horbury have started. I know Wakefield are in that league, and I know you watch quite a bit of that league as well, don't you, Adam? So what's your thoughts on Woolwell and Horbury then?
Very impressive.
I agree with that. I think the key thing for them, I think from what I've seen, is they've kept a lot of the core team from last year. Both teams finished either in the playoffs or just below last season, I think. And how many times last season I say every episode about having a good start would have made it a different season for them. And Horbury have certainly had that 5 wins from 5. Same for Woolwell. Keeping a core set of players and then bringing a couple of players in has made, I think, the difference to them because you kind of keep that chemistry, don't you?
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, enough teams went out of the top of the division that they're kind of up at the top anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, Beverley and Hartgate going up, and other teams moving to the Midlands League, like the Retfords and Shirebrook and what have you.
Yeah.
They're kind of the next in line, along with what you would have expected at the start of the season as being Wakefield, but it's just not worked out that way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, we might do. The season's a long one. Now, you, Adam, you went to watch Glassout and Wombwell, didn't you? What did you think of Wombwell? 5-3, wasn't it?
Yeah, it were a cracking game. Yeah, I thought they were, especially going forwards, I thought they were very impressive. And to be honest, it could have even been more than 5 that they scored. But like I say, Glassout did get 3 goals against them. There were times where they were a bit open at the back, but going forward, they've looked really impressive. And it seems at the minute it's kind of, you score 2, we'll score 3 kind of at the minute. It's like they're just getting goals from absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at the results, they beat Brig away 2-0. They beat Clubthorne at home 2-1. They beat Durham District away 2-1. They beat Glassout away 5-3, and they beat Dromfield at home 4-2. So they're scoring goals, aren't they? They're starting to score more goals, haven't they? They started off steady with 2 and winning, and now they're getting 5s and 4s. So, but interestingly, they lost to Yorkshire Amateurs in the League Cup, didn't they? 2-1. So, but sometimes you think, have they got players available? Were players not available? That type of thing. So you can't read too much into that, can you?
No, I think sometimes, like I say, on Tuesday night, with players working and stuff like that, and you never know because it could come out of rested a few because we've had, to be fair, all of them wins, you've just said most of them are like teams you'd expect to be up there at the end of the season or roundabout. So
I think all of them. I mean,
factor.
Yeah, definitely all of them there. They should be up and about. And I mean, Glassout, I know that they struggled a little bit last season, and they had a good little bit of a motivated rally towards the end of the season where they were doing quite well. I saw them against Beverley last season. I know they lost to Beverley, but I thought there was spirit there, and they looked okay. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, they'll be fine. I don't think they'll. I'm not expecting. I think they'll be bottom half, but I'm not expecting them to be in any problem. They'll be fine.
Yeah. So if we go, but that's Wombwell. So Horbury. So far, they've played Nostell. They've beaten 4-0. Great crowd, 308 there. That's a great crowd, that. They beat South Leeds 1-0 away. They beat Selby away 3-1. And they beat Shelley 3-0 at home. And they beat Swallownest at home 1-0. Now, Swallownest are a different team to they were last season, aren't they? Really doing well. So to beat Swallownest, that's good. So Horbury, as Si says, if they didn't have that bad start last season, they would have been there. So Horbury are looking like they ain't going to do that this season. They're not going to mess up, are they? So,
and I think where you were saying before with Wombwell scoring goals, sort of outscoring other teams, that old Newcastle philosophy from the 90s that I remember. Horbury's the other way around. Horbury's just a lockout. 12 goals scored, 1 goal conceded in that 3-1. Everything else has been clean sheets in the 5 games. So I think it's certainly been the defence that's really helped them.
Yeah, so definitely looking at the league table. Wombwell played 6, 18 points. Horbury played 5, 15 points. So, it's looking good. It's looking good. Ilkley are up there. They're a new team. Durham District are up there. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to give these 2 teams a massive mention. Armthorpe are up there and Athersley are up there. So well done to those teams at the moment, doing really well. So you went to another game, didn't you, over in the week, Adam?
Yeah, I went to. Speaking of Ilkley, I went to Shelley versus Ilkley, which finished 3-1 to Ilkley. To be fair, I were impressed with Ilkley. I thought they look a good team. They play it around, play some good football. They play it like on the floor, like really good passing, and it, like I say, that could have been a lot more. I think, to be fair, Shelley's goal were a thunderbolt, like a 30-yard screamer.
Yeah.
I think it was one of them where, Ilkley pretty clear winners in all honesty. Like I say, Shelley, we don't look a terrible team. I watched them against South Leeds in the cup, and I thought, to be honest, they were a better team until South Leeds took the league. So I think they'll probably be like around bottom half, but I think they'll be Probably around where we are now, about 15th, I say, whereas Ilkley, I think, will be somewhere around the playoffs.
Yeah. Now, I know you like to give your grounds a rating, and I love this. What did you think of the ground? Because it's an odd ground, isn't it?
I like it. It's different, but I really like it. It reminds me of like the grounds you go to abroad, where it kind of like you go down onto the pitch.
Yes.
Yeah, I love grounds with a bit of character like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Certainly got character.
I'm impressed with it.
All those bench seats they've got, and I like this. I like the stand where it's got the roof on it, but you can stand. You can stand, be sort of not quite in the ground, can't you? And look over, and that look. Yeah, they took a photograph. So it does look a nice ground, and at this level, there's so much character with the different grounds. Isn't there? I know there's some grounds that are not a little bit grotty sometimes, and but other grounds you can see that the people, the volunteers who look after them, they're so proud of the grounds, aren't they? So, and I think that must be one of them that they're proud of. So that was that one. So, what games are we going to at the weekend, then, gentlemen?
So I'm at. I've got a bit of I'm going to be missing a bit of NCEL for a couple of weeks now because I'm going to Doncaster Morecambe at the weekend.
Right.
But then I was planning on going to somewhere midweek, but we've got a small cup tie against Everton to look forward to. Goodison Park.
Yeah. So you won't
I'll be going there instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably week after I'll be back in NCEL.
Yeah. Well, you like to get your midweek games in, don't you? So
like I say, I follow Rovers, Doncaster Rovers home away, and then midweek I'll try and get to an NCEL game.
Yeah, well, that's good. I know you follow your NCEL, so that's good. Si, are you going to any games this week? Are you going to the Wakey game this weekend?
I can't, unfortunately. I'm missing sort of next couple, but yeah, we've got the home game against 1874 Northwich that we just mentioned in the FA Vars. But also, I'll give a quick shout out because next week we'll also know how the Wakefield derby comes out. Because next Tuesday it's Wakefield versus Horbury at Featherstone. So that's going to be quite a tasty match. Obviously, they're going great guns at the moment, and it's always got a great rivalry as that game. So we desperately need 3 points, and they'll desperately want to win them as well.
Definitely. Well, you've lost a few players, haven't you, Wakefield, just recently?
It's been a bit in and out. Yeah, I think that's what I say about sort of the changes. You know, you look at the teams that are doing well have probably kept hold of a core of a team. We've had quite a lot of changes going on. It does affect your chemistry, doesn't it, and what have you? I mean, in the first game of the season for us, I think I said 6 out of the starting 11 were making the debuts.
Well,
and that's a lot to change in a team. So it takes a while to get going. And looking at the league now, you kind of think, oh, well, we can make up the ground, but that's a lot of ground to make up already.
It is, but I mean, you can do it. I mean, it's not as if it's towards the end of the season, but I think stability is the key in step 5 and step 6 football. If you can keep the nucleus, keep your spine of the team, I think that's half the battle. But then you see at our level again, it's are players available? You know, are they injured? On Saturday we had 3 players unavailable, one holidays and injuries and some, so on and so forth. And then we had 2 go off in the first half with looked quite nasty knocks. I know Ryan Thompson went off with a foot injury, and Fraser Papel looked like he'd pulled his hamstring, so that wasn't brilliant. We had to reshuffle. And of course, the manager did a brilliant thing of shuffling somebody who wasn't playing particularly well first half, and second half he was man of the match. So what a great management! What a great piece of management there from Mr. Bowlesley. So yeah, but as I say, at our level, it's so difficult, isn't it? I mean, with players who possibly can't get off for work, or they're injured, or they have to go. They've got to take the holidays sometime, haven't they? So,
and the difference with this level as well is the fact your players are constantly in the shop window. It's not like league football where you get transfer windows, and you know if you can keep a player at the end of August, you've got them until January. That's not the case at this level. And the better the players are doing for you, the more teams are going to come and watch them and try and pick them.
I mean, how many times have you turned up at the ground And the club secretary says those immortal words of somebody's put 7 days in. Oh, that nightmare, isn't it? That. Oh,
The 7-day curse.
The 7-day curse, yeah. Oh, so put 7 days. Oh God. So that it's a difficult one. And then if players aren't happy, or they're maybe not getting as much game time as they want, or a manager's playing them at a slightly different position, it's all ifs and buts and maybes, isn't it? So it's a difficult one. So, but going on, I know it's a bit higgledy-piggledy. So if we have a quick look at, I think we've sort of forgot about the Premiership a little bit because we've had cup fever, haven't we? So if we look at the Prem, at the top, we've got Penistone. Played 5, got 12 points. Now, Penistone are one of those teams who are always there or thereabouts, aren't they, gentlemen?
Yeah, 100%.
So they're a good team. And again, they're a team that don't really have a lot of interchange with players. They keep the core players, I think, maybe just
Like
add
a
to
community
it.
club, aren't they? Very much a community, and especially when obviously they've got a good level of the Penistone Church Reserves that used to play. We play in the Sheffield and Hallamshire that we were in before. So they've got a good reserve team as well to feed into that.
And it's a good setup there at Penistone. If you go, it's a nice ground,
Lovely ground.
It's good bar, clubhouse, and so on and so forth. And sometimes I can't get parked in the car park, but that's because I come too late sometimes. Well, never mind. So I've got Penistone there. Hallam, again, they're on fire. They've played 4, got 10 points, but Hallam, Craig Denton's got them buzzing. Just see how well they go this season, because again, they've sort of been there or thereabouts for the last couple of seasons, haven't they? They've been knocking on the door, and the crowds they get at Hallam are phenomenal. What was it on Sunday? 703. And they've had a couple of times last season when they've had 1,000, haven't they? So that's really good going. So and Golka, unbeaten, played 3, got 9 points. So they're pardon?
I said they're looking good, Golka. I mean, I went when they beat top of table Penistone. I can see them, like I say, if they carry on like this, they'll definitely could be a potential dark horse this year.
Definitely. It's just they've just got to stay with it, haven't they? Because sometimes they do tend to sort of, I wouldn't like to say drop off, but they sometimes, just a bit like Packley. They go well and then they have a few bad results and they pick up again. Then, they just. But I think, like you say, Golka, I think it's a tough place to go. Again, another nice little ground, one of my sort of favourite grounds. You've been, haven't you? You went early this season, Adam, didn't you? As you intimated.
Yeah,
nice ground, isn't it? I love that. I love that stand they've got. That stand. It's sort of brand new, isn't it? It looks really good. So I like their ground. Have you been to Golka?
No, I'm hoping we can get promoted one year so I can go. Yeah. I've got to try all these prem grounds yet.
Yeah, there's some good ones, I must admit. So that's and looking at the bottom of, I can mention this thing as Bob's not here. Gould played 3, no points. Beverley played 3 and no points. And then we've got Knaresborough, another team we tipped. Played 5, only got 2 points. And Albion, 4 games, 2 points. So there's a few teams there need to get going. I think Beverley will start to pick up. I'm sure they will. They've made 1 or 2 signings. They've lost a few. I think they've got a few injured, and they lost McFadden. I think he's gone to Australia now, so he played quite well last season. So they've lost a few guys, haven't they? But I think
looking
Beverley
at Albion, Albion's games have all been away as well.
Yeah, so it's a false position, isn't it? I think, to be fair. I mean, when they played us, they looked good. I think it was a 0-0 draw. They looked good when they played us. So, but I think Albion's is a bit of a false position. And Knaresborough can go on a run just like that, can't they? So they're a bit like Handsworth. They can lose a load, and then just go on a massive run. So
I think they won like the first six in a row at start of last season. So
it's probably the other way around, Adam, this season, where they'll not do well for the first 6 and then get on. I know that we should play Barton every week because we cannot beat them no matter what we do. We just cannot beat them. So But anyway, he's looking to quite a packed couple of weeks because we've got the FA Cup this week. Next weekend we've got the FA Vars this weekend. So let's hope all the teams who are playing in the Vars do well.
That's it for this edition. If you've got any news for the podcast or you'd like to appear on the podcast, please email ncelpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.